for the Gordon Spice Sprint to complete the 2024 members meeting at Goodwood, the 81st members meeting here, coming up for its final race of the weekend. And if you're still here and still watching, I hope you can enjoy this one. We're going to love it because it's such a mix of saloon cars from the 70s and 80s that will be racing hard as possible. Green flag from the back of the grid. We're ready for the final race at the members meeting at Goodwood in 2024. Flag goes down, away go the minis, good start, and as ever from the second row, good start from Nick Swift, but actually from pole, Larry Wall making a very good start. Number 64, that is Larry, he's on the inside, but round the outside goes Nick Swift in the blue and white mini, and he may be brave enough to go right round the outside here. Look how close the minis are. I love the way they wobble around through a fast corner like that, and it is Nick who's taken the lead.
It is, and look, they're almost blocking the faster, more powerful engines behind. And I said it to you, Ben, off air, that we were so excited, weren't we, to see these minis lining up on the front. It's getting ever so close, though, further on behind.
Yeah, absolutely good. The Camaros are already forcing their way through. I think that James Thorpe is one of those. Jack Tetley certainly has made a good start, but I think James Thorpe's made an even better one. So Nick Swift is in the advance. Oh, there's a contact between the Mini and a Rover, and that's our poleman, Larry Wall. They make hit to contact again. My goodness, I'm amazed they didn't get collected and T-boned by a bunch more cars there. That's unfortunate on this opening lap. Nick Swift is still leading, but now look, there is James Thorpe. As I thought, he started 13th and he's already in second.
He stormed through, didn't he? Really did, making sure that he was sliding his way through the gaps. I would expect that we will probably see a safety car. No flags out at the moment, as coming now into the chicane, and this is one of my favourite shots of the weekend. And the little Mini there is, and safety car is out on track now, which is what we expected. So racing will be slowed, all drivers will back up, and
what a shame.
Look at that, Larry Wall in the Mini.
Oh,
so unfortunate, and that is partly a little bit of the issue with the reverse grid race, and you're sandwiched really between those with faster engines. But I guess you can still have that happen towards the end of the field, but that's certainly what you not wanted to see.
No, and it was contact with Nick Sleep in the Rover. They were together on the front row. They both got off the front row, and we were 3/4 of the way around the lap before they made contact really on the approach. And I think it was a double contact. We'll have another look at it in a minute, but I think they hit twice. Oh, the Mazda, has that got a problem again? Because it didn't run yesterday. Maybe they're still they're still having troubles getting that Mazda RX-7 to run. It's a shame because we don't often see it out. Yeah, there is the Rover that was on the front row alongside for the start of this race. Nick Sleep, unfortunately, he's out of the race. They're going to have to get a bit of help to get these cars out of the way, especially the Mini with the damage on it. It's going to have to be lifted out of the way. So that is going to bring us the safety car. And remember, this is quite a short race. We've only got 12 minutes, just over 12 minutes to go. It looks like Alex Taylor, I wonder if that was an error. We'll have a look at what happened again here, Alice. Now, there's an initial contact between the Rover and the Mini there. All right, and then he goes off on the grass, and then they make contact. Ironically, that they make contact again together.
But he was full. He could not have done anything different there, because Larry was, you could see the front wheels, and you can see there's the contact between the Rover. Brake lights are on, the front wheels are fully locked up, and the grass is slightly wet. And off they went skating, so huge disappointment and a wave there. They're glad to see they're all right, but seeing it was a hefty hit, that Mini's pretty strong, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it has stood up to it, but as you say, it's always a bit painful to see such a lovely little car damaged like that. But it was just a racing incident. I mean, it was just a pure racing incident. There were nearly 3 abreast coming down there, and there was that little bit of initial contact. And once Larry was on the grass, there wasn't a lot he could do, as you say. He locked up, he hit the brakes, but on grass, you just don't slow down at all. Just waiting. The Gordon Spice Sprint is underway, so it is Rupert Death away initially. Nick Swift once again trying to make a really good start in his blue and white Mini. The Mazda starting from the back, but already that's a great start by Jack Tetley this time. Jack Tetley from what was the third row, but with sort of cars missing. He had a bit more clearance in front of him, and Jack has already, there you are, you're riding on board with Jack now. You're looking back, he's got the lead of this race, and his main aim now is to get as big an advantage. He could be in position now to win this, because his big rivals have got to spend some time coming through this lot.
He certainly has, and he's got the rivals that are desperately trying to squeeze through these minis in front of them. Oh, and the number 60 of Nick Swift in the mini getting a bit of a wobble through there, and then the 63 having a bounce. Rupert Death there, but already Jack, and as you said, that car was badly damaged last year. Oh no, and that is the 60 going across the grass.
Nick Swift actually making an error, or something going wrong there. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe something that was wrong with the car that gave him that sideways moment. Meanwhile, the Mustangs are trying to move up through the order. I'm not sure they've had quite such a good getaway. The one that Craig Davis had in the first start, I'm not sure he's got away to quite the same effect, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Michael Whitaker in the Rover, a brilliant start. Michael Whitaker Jr., that is, who has had a great weekend here at Goodwood already. So he's up into second place with the blue Rover, and that is a brilliant spot to be in, having started quite a long way down. Nick Swift has pulled over, we gather, and has dropped out of the race completely. So across the line, so Tetley is the leader, and then we've got Michael Whitaker Jr. in second place in the Rover. He won the Ken Miles with Andrew Jordan earlier today, and then you can also see that coming up through the order now, Fred Shepherd is going extremely well, number 17 in the Mustang. So this time, he's the best of the Mustangs, and it wasn't such a good start for Craig Davis.
No, it wasn't, but it's Tetley that is stretching his legs at the front in the Chevrolet Camaro, and as I was saying before the Mini stopped on track, he had a big crash last year in this race. The car was really badly damaged, but look in the background, Ben. Oh, and a slight lock-up. We've got more going on, and that is Fred Shepherd, who is storming. An excellent first sector from Fred. He's putting Whitaker Jr. under huge amounts of pressure.
He certainly is, and he should have a bit more straight line speed through this section. So you'll see that I think at the opportunity he takes here, yeah, Fred Shepherd's going to draw alongside the Rover, and the Ford Mustang is going to take that spot, is it? Oh no, he's having to brake, and they've got a good late braking manoeuvre. Leader's gone through, the Rover's holding on, and Michael Whitaker Jr. is doing a great job, I have to say, to hold off Fred Shepherd for the moment in the Mustang, but you may see that's going to be harder now.
That's going to be harder, especially down this long pit straight, and there we go, there's your proof. Fred pulls to the right-hand side, left-hand side as you look at it, and sails on through 128.4. That is 1 second quicker than Tetley in the Chevrolet, who's out in front, lights full beam. Let's see if Fred decides to do touring car style and use his lights. There is the number 7 car, which started much further down, Jack Young, so he's made his way further up the field, sharing that yesterday with Gordon Shebb.
Yeah, great stuff going on. The Whitaker family, both up there quite well at the moment, so because Michael Whitaker Jr. in second place, Mike Whitaker in the Capri, currently in 4th position. So that's the number 8 Capri, but he may come under a bit more pressure. This is the battle for the lead already, and we're seeing some locking up going on there as Jack Tetley tries to hold off. Now, we did hear when he was talking to Ed that he feels the car is not quite as rapid as it was last year. It's been recently repaired and all put back together and beautifully restored after the damage that was done, but he feels there's still a bit more work to be done to get it handling to the same level. And here we go, battle for the lead. This is a real chance for Fred Shepherd, but he's on the outside again, and that's always tricky to go around the outside. He backs off.
Yeah, that's into Woodcock Corner now. The next opportunity will be down into the chicane. Thinks better of it. Going to try and use the grunt of the Ford Mustang down the straight, and gets a little bit sideways on the exit of the chicane. Here we're looking back now. Tetley is holding on to that inside line. The Chevy Camaro is holding up against the Ford Mustang at the moment. Holds it slightly tighter. Does he run out wide? No, he doesn't. So great defensive driving from Tetley.
So far, so good, but Fred Shepherd's not going to give it up. The young man who has been racing here at Goodwood for several years now and delivering some fantastic results in all sorts of cars that the Shepherd family are lucky enough to own. Oh, it's a bit of a lock-up. Was that the right rear or the right front? I'm not sure, couldn't quite see, but yeah, a bit of a lock-up there for Jack Tetley.
And that intimidating image of having a Ford Mustang all over the rear of your car, especially when Fred Shepherd is behind it and it is the front, is just having a little bit of a lock-up there into Levant corner, and that's going to give the opportunity to Fred Shepherd to go down the inside and take the lead.
Fred Shepherd's now leading the Gordon Spice sprint. He started back on the 7th row of the grid, but with 6.5 minutes to go, he has now taken the lead. And there's no doubt that Jack Tetley's car, especially under braking, is not working quite as efficiently as he would like. It looks as though there's something wrong with the brake balance. He may just have a flat spot on the tyre, but these tyres are pretty resilient normally. So maybe there's a slight brake balance problem, and he's just having to be a touch cautious. And he's actually under a bit of pressure now from Michael Whitaker Jr. in the Rover behind. The Rover, number 19, the blue Rover there, is going really well up against these fast American machines that are more powerful, but lovely to see it going quite so effectively here. Really homage to the successful Rover period that took place in the 1970s. 1980s, and he's doing a fantastic job so far.
Certainly is. The Tetley car certainly lost some pace from, of course, defending against Shepherd, but it did sound, so what you think, Ben? It did sound maybe a little bit clunky on the down changes there. We've got to move the number 5 slotting down the inside. That is James Cottingham, so he's making his way up, doing some good lap times, not far off actually the pace of Fred Shepherd, who's leading the race. But of course, again, Jack Tetley having that lock-up, and continuous lock-up. So is he going to run slightly wide at the back corner? No, manages to keep it on track, but you said these tyres are resilient, but if you do keep locking up, it will eventually put a flat spot, and of course that can wear on through or lead to a puncture. So Jack's got to, of course, be ever so careful.
Definitely, so let's hope he can. I think he's being sensible about it, but he's in quite a group of cars here now. Jack Young trying to get around the outside as we go back on board. Oh.
Slightly in the background, sorry Ben, they almost nearly contact between the two Mustangs in the back there. That is Craig Davis trying to make his way through. Got a really, really good start in the previous start, but wasn't able to replicate that in this one. And now Tetley is under even more pressure, this time from Cottingham, who's all over the rear of his car. Looking left, looking right. There's going to be an opportunity now down into St Mary's.
It's a lovely view, isn't it? With the onboard camera looking back, you can see the steering wheel working hard there right behind as Jack Young is trying to make the most. Sorry, not Jack Young. We're looking at James Cottingham from this onboard camera at the moment. James Cottingham's doing a lovely job of controlling the oversteer there. You see the hands flicking one way, then the other from this onboard camera. Great to watch, and Jack Tetley so far is defending, managing to hold James Cottingham off. James got to keep an eye on Michael Whitaker Jr. behind in the Rover as well. But as you mentioned, Craig Davis is a part of this as well. Up front, I can tell you that Freddie Shepherd is just easing away into the distance. He's 4.5, 5 seconds ahead. That's still opening up. So really the fights are going to be for the other podium positions, because I think Fred's definitely on target for victory. Down the inside. Oh, the slightest touch between them there. James Cottingham has got through.
Yeah, the Chevy slides on past, but that's now Ford on the back. Craig Davis in the Mustang, and running ever so slightly wide is Tetley. He is wringing the neck, absolutely, but it's not enough at the moment. Then further back there, we have Young, who's storming up behind in the Chevrolet Camaro, getting ever so close to the back of Tetley's car. Is he going to try and get the undercut there, which will next be into Ford water? Little bit of grass, little bit of curb, but not quite yet finding a way through. Now we'll head down into St Mary's, and Gordon Shedden yesterday in the Gordon Spice race, the two-driver race, had some fantastic moves through St Mary's.
Meanwhile, Craig Davis has now got up to 3rd place in his Mustang. So we've got Mustangs 1st and 3rd now, with Fred Shepherd leading this one. And Craig Davis, who won the Gordon Spice double driver race yesterday there. You're just seeing it, the black and red Mustang. That is now up into third place, but I don't think there's going to be much chance to go chasing after our race leader, who had a 6.5 second lead last time across the line, and we've only got just under 2 minutes of this final race to go. There is our race leader, lapping at around 1.5 minutes. So actually it's going to be interesting to see whether he gets a whole another lap after the next one. And there's a bit of a lock-up there for Davis. So not the only... we're seeing a few cars locking up here today.
Yeah, we are, but he is desperately chasing down Cottingham, and again, having a little bit of a lock-up going into the chicane. So he's going to try and desperately get in the slipstream of Cottingham in the Camaro and chase him down the straight. No opportunity still for Young to try and go down the inside into turn 1 of Tetley. And this is, again, is one of my favourite shots. Just seeing the movement of the rear of the car as it comes over the crest there of Madwick.
Yeah, wonderful to watch. And the battles are still going on. As you say, James Cottingham, who you're watching here in front of this pair. And this car, great history to it. It was on pole position in 1981 at the Spa 24-hour race with the GP driver, Rainer Wiesel. So lovely history to plenty of these cars, and Capris are having fun a little bit further down the order, as you can see. The number 53 car, that's Matt Green. He's having a little fight all the way, and yeah, with the number 33 car of Charlie March, they're having a fun time side by side, and Charlie now getting through on the inside. And it's wonderful to see these Ford Capris, and in fact down there with them is the other Capri of Rick Wood, isn't it? So the man who's carrying our onboard cameras, he's a bit under pressure now from Charlie March, who's going to have a little lunge, I think.
Yeah, Rick was told to keep out of trouble, but that is much easier said than done. Of course, Jake will know that, and now he's got a queue of these other Capris. Oh, I'm afraid just crosses the line with 2 seconds to spare, which means we are now on to the last lap. But the sound of these excellent, incredible cars, and here is the battle now between the Fords.
Yeah, and funnily enough, it's been a bit of a change around the other way once again, because now Matt Green's got back past. So I'm not quite sure what happened there to Charlie March. He got held up somewhere. And now, as you can see on the onboard, that's a good pass as Matt Green manages to get past Rick Wood, and Charlie March goes through as well. So they both get past the other Capri. Got a Triumph Dolomite Sprint, trying to get into it as well, as all of them now are going on to their last lap. The Triumph being driven by Tim Crichton, the classic car story Triumph Dolomite Sprint. Lovely to have that as part of the show as well. But up front, there is no doubt about who's controlling this race, as the Dolomite has a little look up the inside. Oh, careful, guys, don't...
We got away at the right moment, I think. I hope there was no contact. But as you said, Ben, Fred, he has driven an exceptional race. Knows this car inside out, knows Goodwood inside out, and he has done a perfect race. It's been a short race, 12 minutes from where he started on the 7th row, but he's done an excellent job.
He really has. They finished second in the longer race yesterday as a 2-driver race, but it is Fred Shepherd who takes victory in the sprint race in the excellent machine that has brought him all the way across the line. And second place goes to James Cottingham. Third actually does go to Jack Tetley. Tetley, oh no, it is Davis. I thought it was. It's just that the board came up. So we have got some problems there, as Rick Wood has dropped back, I gather. So Rick Wood, the other Capri, yeah, there you are. You're on board with Rick. So it's a mechanical problem. These other 2 Capris are still fighting like crazy, trying to work out who's going to end up ahead in the pairing. Matt Green is in front at the moment. Charlie March is going to try and get through on the inside. It's the chicane. Oh, and Charlie, as he's got it together, yeah. And Matt's done the right thing. He had to back off, really, and let him take advantage because he didn't go through the chicane. So Charlie March takes that 10th spot, and that was a wonderful battle between them.